All right, and we are on to part 2 here. Welcome back, everybody. I know we ended the last episode of this walkthrough in the ship, but I did decide to come back up top for a moment. We're double checking, you know, there's these vents to go into on the roof, so make sure you're checking those. I did grab a little bit more loot. I'm tempted to grab even more still, but I'm pretty overweight at this point, so I think we are going to head downstairs. We'll take a shortcut here, and then we'll determine if we are for sure done up here. Oop, that was a quick way down. We want as much, fabric as possible. Fabric late game, or just as you travel, you use fabric a lot, and it's one of those resources that it's not the easiest to find, if you can believe that. We've got a little bit of spare fuel. We've got a few pieces of loot like that. We've set a little bit of loot here for later. And I got a bunch of loot on me right now, and I want to loot all of this too, because that is experience. When you get the loot, it is experience. And we want to build a couple of different boxes. We want to do... Probably just going to do... Three or four of these Durapacks for now. Let's hit add missing parts to queue. We'll do that 5 times. And then it will just make everything from the resources in not only my inventory, but just from the resources around. And now we want to go and set this up. I like to put some stuff in here just as like a little stash location. Let's build 2 of these here. We'll do 1 there. 1 there. And those are pretty far away, so those are not going to get resources automatically, or will they? Okay, no, they do. Perfect. So those are close enough to what you're crafting down here that everything will just go with you. Then you can also put them on the wall. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 on the wall for later. And then that's done. So we want to gather all of this again. That got us to level 4. And then we're going to need to try to offload a few things here. The copper, the gold, that's always the heaviest. But for now, we're just going to throw this all in here. We currently don't have a lot. We'll use the second one here for the rest of these things. There we go. And then that as well. That's good. And now the ones upstairs we're going to go back to. I don't think they both built. No, they did not. But we want to store all of this stuff in here, because this is for late game. And then we want to build... I guess we'll just put this in here for now, too. Like, this is biomaterial, which you're going to need for when you get a few other things going. So there we go. We'll set up 1 more set of material. Then we'll go back upstairs for one final check. What we'll do is add all parts to queue. There we go. We're going to equip that in case we run into trouble. And then last round, we also unlocked this, which we need to build 1 of those. So we'll let all that run. That last chest just got built. And we're going to take this ladder back to the roof. And I believe we're just going to crush a few machines up there. You just want to take as much as you can with you. It's just useful too. So most all of these are broken. So what we're going to do is stay on power. We're just going to break all of these down. We're not going to get everything because we do not yet know these recipes, but this is just going to make life a lot easier. A little less heavy crafting necessary this way. We're getting stuff like solar cells and things of that nature. So it's really good to just do a little bit of cleanup here. Again, if we knew the recipe, we'd get everything. These look to be the tier 2 Yeah, these are the tier 2 devices. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's tier 2. Now, I would typically take everything, but since this is a more major quest point, we're going to leave a few behind. Just to keep the batteries running here in case we ever swing back through. And there is a chance we could stop back by at some point. So, you just never know. We're kind of doing a roundabout check here. I feel like that's a room maybe we need to go into. So we'll have to go and see what that looks like. Although I think we already went in there. Maybe. Alright, let's go this way. Actually, yeah, I did go in that room to the left. We've been there, but we've not been to the right. So... Oh, okay. Yep. Ooh. That was a little bit of a close call. Just a little bit. A little bit lower on health than I like to see. That leads out. This leads down. Hopefully this doesn't kill us. It might kill us. Okay, no, we're good. Sheesh. That's how you get back around. Okay. I do feel like we've done about everything we can do here. So we're gonna jump aboard. We're gonna heal. We're gonna save on backup number 7. Then we're gonna connect that, press F to change it to pull power. This way we can fully recharge before we leave the ship. Our battery is 500 watt hours, if y'all didn't know that. That's been entirely drained. I wouldn't mind getting it fully filled up before we depart. This is not something I would typically do, but this is not a terrible drop. So what we're gonna do is this right here. We're gonna have to build one of those, which we should have the material for. Sometimes it's just easier to do this and build that here. We'll build 2. Rather than sort through all of our resources, we'll just do that to just make sure we have what we need. We'll jump back up. And again, I just want as much power as possible on the ship before we depart. We'll take all the power off of this battery. And these batteries hold up to 6 kilowatt hours. So, yeah, we're power up the boat. We're at 6, so we're full. That's great. Perfect. And one final check. Yeah, we're all set. Let's get out of here. Let's take the ship and go. That's nice. I never noticed that before. This is all high-tech stuff. I mean, it's a no-brainer to grab all this. It's just all sitting right here, so... The more material you have, the faster you level your character, because when you loot this material, it gives you credit. You can overload your ship, though, so be careful. You're gonna do this like me. There we go. Alright, let's go take off. And then we'll talk about developing a system. Alright, we can't deal with that right now. Actually, we might be able to. Let's look at this. Let's increase our carry capacity and our lifting capacity. We'll just break that down instead. Alright. Then we're gonna head out. We've done all this additional prep work. Kind of wanted to show all that off, just so we know what we're getting into. We've got a little bit of additional backup fuel. We're gonna go ahead and crush this down. It's a storage cylinder, an alloy frame, and a bunch of other stuff, which is absolutely immaculate to get early game. So make sure you're grabbing that stuff. And you don't have to worry about the loot to the degree that I am, because you will find plenty in your travels. It's just often it's easier to do this. So, all right, let's depart. When you press to go forward, that anchor automatically lifts, and we are well on our way. While the ship leaves harbor here, we're going to let it do its thing. I'm going to recharge my battery because you will run out of batteries sitting there doing that. Let's grab all the power we need. Then let's okay.
This vessel is more than just machine.
There we go.
It's your
Now it'll tell us
refuge.
where to go.
Your home now. Sail forth, Caretaker.
Oh, we will.
Reclaim the waters humanity once commanded.
Indeed. We have to go to that nav beacon.
Restoring navigational relays will illuminate our way.
And as we do this, you can drop that net at any time. It's just part of what you always have.
You'll need to master basic crafting skills and generate your own resources to survive. Begin by fabricating a Lumelite solar panel.
I don't want to make a Lumelite solar panel, but we'll do it here. So we have to learn the Lumelite solar panel, which, between you and me, they are not that good. Then we'll also learn that diesel generator. That's important to know now. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on that and press craft. And since we already looted so many pieces, we already got that built.
Good job. You've successfully learned to craft and produce resources.
Cool. But I don't care about this thing, so now we're going to break it. Because it is not good power at all. Got that one in there. We're quite a ways away still. So we're going to press deposit similar and deposit similar. And then we're going to put all of these into here. And then we have all of this loot. There we go. We'll clear up this loot on the ship at some point as well. Then right here, we want to build this right here. And in the meantime, we want to... Oh, that's a lot of mines. Did I just barely avoid the mines again? Or did I hit him? Let's look. Oh yeah, we didn't hit him. So we want to grind these up. And then there's some housekeeping we're going to do before we even enter into this beacon. But we'll have to take a pause soon. Deal with everything else going on. So we want all of these pieces made. We want to, say, add missing parts to the queue. And it will just start crafting, which is absolutely perfect. And then we're gonna stay on the vessel here in a minute. Let's see, let's clear these up too. Typically when I'm about 500 meters away, I like to be on the ship, steering in and parking. So we'll do that. We'll do that in a minute. Wrong spot. So we'll bring this ship into dock right now. And you can see with only a couple of engines going, we're not going that fast, but A and D, you have to hold them down to steer left and right, and holding them down will slowly turn the vessel. But we'll get lined up and correctly docked here, so it's going to want us to come left a bit. Like so. I see a dock right there along that outer edge. So holding down A to turn like this. Now slowly coming back around, pressing D. We'll have to hold D down to turn. Like that.
The beacon is here, silent and dark. The systems here sleep without power, and without their signal, we drift aimlessly. Bring back the power, and awaken the beacon's voice to guide us forward.
There we go. Turning it in like this. And then once we park it, we'll discuss what we need to do on the ship, because there are things on the ship that have not been done that we need to put in order. And then we'll enter onto this place after all that. Then we slowly press S to turn down the power as we come into park. And initially I will drop anchor once we're close enough with spacebar. So press spacebar to drop anchor. And then when you moor the vessel, it will automatically pull it in, but you have to take the anchor off for it to come correctly in. If you leave the anchor on, the ship kind of sinks. Lift anchors, and then you can see we'll scoot a tiny bit closer, but not much. Oh, and you can always take these bumpers if you need to as well for rubber. And you can see here there's some good stuff for later. A little bit of spare fuel, because we do eat, just absolutely eat through that fuel. That took 700 liters to go 2 kilometers. It's the one thing I do wish they would change. You just eat that fuel a little too quick. Let's see if we got what we need down here to make everything. What do we need? Okay. That should be... We'll take all this with us because I wasn't sure what it said it needed. There we go. I just heard it go. I heard a little noise as it started crafting. Yeah, that's what we need to see. And then that means we can go in here. Gotta crush these at some point. Remember, we had set all this in here. Oh, gimme, gimme. Take power. Then immediately put fuel into the ship. We're not going to turn this on yet because we just do not have the setup to do all that. And then what I like to do is jump to the roof. And for now, we're just going to do a setup of 3 of these. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And these need to be built before we even go in. And you can see we had the parts for 1. And now we need to add all parts to the queue times 2. It's going to craft all that because we're not producing any amount of electricity right now. So we need to be producing electricity. And to do that, we need this machine working. All 3 of these machines working. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this here. And 1 more here. To try and make it look pretty as we come down. And come down. And come down right there as well. Try and make it look nice. It's kind of difficult to do. So this goes here. This goes here. And this one, once done. What are we waiting on? Let's see if this is doing what it needs to be doing here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Started crafting. I should have done that. I guess it was just a little too far away for it to work. But I've always liked putting these up here. And then we'll put this one here, like that. We'll connect this to here. I'll actually use this one right here. If we could get it there, that would be best. No, that doesn't look good. We'll do this one. Into this one. And now we'll drop it just direct into there. That'll do for now, although I'm tempted to do this right here. We can, and we cannot. So we're going to let it be. And that's going to start charging our batteries. You can see we already burned through 3 kilowatt hours. So we want all this going in. We have an input of 9 kilowatt hours. Basic math on this, like the ship holds 6 kilowatt hours. Running 9 means we'll charge the ship in about 45 minutes. The math is pretty realistic to IRL. So if you have 6 kilowatt hours of energy, you need 6 kilowatt hours of recharge to recharge the batteries in an hour. If not, if you have less than that, it's going to take longer. And if you have double that, say 12, it's going to take 30 minutes. We're running about 6, sometimes a little bit higher. It looked like it said 8 or 9 earlier. Input, yeah, so the wind slowed down. So the input is going to vary a little bit there. But yeah, we're just eating through power. So at this point, we have our power set up. We're confident to be good to go. And what I'm going to do is, it seems like this spot is just glitched. So we're going to put the anchor back down and we're going to pull the moorings. Stop. We're going to pull the moorings and see if that fixes that tilt that we're having. And it seems to have a little bit. This spot was always tilting for me last I had played. But that's that. We're set. But we'll explore this in the next episode because we're at about the spot that I like to stop. So y'all take care. That was just the final exploration of the other place as well as the gathering of materials that we did not yet have. I'm going to do a little cleanup and then we'll start the next episode here. Y'all take care. I'll see you soon.